All right.
Well, I'm sure that all Tipperary are hoping that they will. Well, now we've heard the selectors talking about the players, but what's the players' view of the selectors? Well, Richard Stakelum, the Tipperary captain, puts it as good as anyone.
Tough in the sense that they will only accept the best. Tough in the sense that they know what's required to get to the top. Because after all, these three men came from possibly three less fashionable clubs in Tipperary, and they know what it takes to get to the top. Those fellas strived a little bit harder than some of the people from the more glamorous clubs like Thurles Sarsfields, and they know what it takes to get to the top, and they've been at pains to instill that into us.
Now, you come from one of the better known, the sort of more successful clubs, Bursley. Within the parish of Bursley, is hurling part of the fabric of life still, or what does hurling mean in Bursley?
Well, hurling means everything. Let's be honest about it. Having won the county championship and indeed the Munster Club and All Ireland, and having gone back to this parish and see the welcome that people have for you after such a victory, even to go to the schools, I don't think that there is actually 2 or 3 young fellas in any class up there who doesn't hurl. It's a fantastic pride to represent your club, and even going back to my own time, which isn't too long ago, any young guy who didn't hurl was considered maybe possibly a little bit odd, and it was the only thing we knew. It was the only game we knew. And it has always been a tremendous honour to represent the club and indeed the county. And it means everything, absolutely everything.
What does the name Martin Kennedy or Tommy Doyle or Jimmy Doyle or Sonny Marr mean to Richie Stakelum?
They mean a hell of a lot. They're actually gods in the sporting world in my eyes. We've all heard and read about them in song and story. But I know that this present team is possibly a long way behind those former greats, but we must start somewhere. And I think at the moment we're slowly but surely coming up that ladder.
Have you got a dream?
I have a dream, yeah. My dream is the podium in Croke Park next September, please God.
Well, if Richard Stakelum and his colleagues are to realise that dream, first they're going to have to get Clare out of the way. Now, in last year's championship final, Clare looked for long periods against Cork, as if the big wait might be over.
Cork, of course, the overwhelming favourites in the game. But anybody who remembers the 77 and 78 finals, remember that they were very tight affairs. And this is John McInerney with a goal in his mind. And Johnny McInerney has given Clare a resounding lead. High tackle, it seemed, on Jerry McInerney. The referee gives an advantage to James Shanahan. Low ball. Tommy Guilfoyle.
But once again, Cork show their pride and resilience when under pressure, and they came out with all guns blazing for the second half.
Tony O'Sullivan. Towards Jimmy Barry, racing inside. Sean Stack under it. Such an elegant and accomplished player. But he loses it, and he's lost it to Cork's Kevin Hennessy, and passed it on to Jimmy Barry. That's a piece of magic. Tony O'Sullivan unable to hold on to it. Kevin Hennessy now playing at top of the right, it seems.
Clare's next big final came just a few weeks ago when the Ford League decider with Thurles. Galway started as favourites, and they got the early breaks as well.
In the Ford final, it's a goal! The sides are level, and Joe Cooney has done the damage. In towards Brendan Linsky at full forward. Ian O'Ryan leaving it for Joe Cooney. Another great goal by Joe Cooney. So the opening 2 points of the half coming to Galway. And after Clare doing so well in the opening 20 minutes of the match, they really have got to bring themselves up by the bootlaces once again. Johnny Calnan in towards Tommy Guilfoyle. A goal! Tony Kilkenny. Now will that goal settle down this Clare team? Gerald Loughlin intended for Ger McInerney or Tommy Guilfoyle. Held by Conor Hayes on a free in. Interestingly, it's Ger McInerney who's taken the free, going for a goal. He's got it, and Clare are in front. It really is anybody's game now. But here's Linsky at the other end. There's another goal chance here for Galway this time. Anthony Cunningham. It's a goal.
A chance to pull the game out of the fire fell to Clare in the dying minutes, but Lady Luck was not kind.
Inside the last minute of play, Clare know what they must do. They've got to go for a goal. Michael Guilfoyle down towards Sil Dolan. Jerry McInerney. His first touch eluded him, but it's saved by Peter Murphy at the second attempt. Just for a moment, there was a goal chance on for Jerry.
Right, and as you say, it's 2 years since I played in the half-back line, and in fact that was the only time I played, just 2 years ago, so yes, it'll be a bit of a change, but I'm looking forward to it.
Now, well, that change has been necessitated because of injuries in the Clare team, but all fit and well otherwise for tomorrow's match.
Yeah, I think the selected team is all fit and well. They were all in good shape on Thursday night anyway, so no worries on that score.
It is, of course, a very important game for both counties in terms of trying to make that breakthrough in Munster.
Yeah, that's fair to say. I think every championship match, of course, is very important for every county, particularly counties that are trying to make a breakthrough, like ourselves in Tipperary. There's pressure on both teams, I'd say. I think maybe there's a bit more pressure on Tipperary. They've been winning the underage competitions, minor and under 21 for the last few years, and I think there's a lot of pressure with their great tradition on them to make the breakthrough. Yeah, it will be a tough, pressurised championship match, as usual.
Both counties, of course, have made it through two Munster finals in recent years, but for Tipperary there was those two very big disappointments. Do you think that's taken more out of them than last year's defeat has from Clare?
Well, I don't know. There's a fair turnover of players in Tipperary. They seem to go through a number of them, players. They haven't a very settled team, if you like, for the last number of years. So, in effect, tomorrow's team is a fairly new team, and I don't think it would be affected by the defeats of a few years ago. While last year was a fairly new team, and while we were beaten, and we were very disappointed at being beaten in Killarney by Cork, we did manage to pick it up for the league and got a decent run in the league and got a few victories behind us. And we have, in a sense, tried to build on the defeat and learn from last year and carry on through the league, and hopefully it'll stand to us tomorrow, and we can take it from there.
Did you deliberately set out to have a good run in the league, or did the results just come for you and it worked out well?
I don't think we certainly didn't deliberately train or to go all out to win every match. Obviously on the day we did, but not maybe in our preparation. And early on we got a couple of decent results that set us up and gave us a certain amount of impetus, which we really only had to try and keep going then, and we managed to do that. No, we didn't set out deliberately to prepare very hard for the league, and we got a lot of good results, and that kept us going.
So Johnny, a final word on tomorrow's match then. Obviously you're hoping for a Clare win, but it should be a good, tough, close one.
Oh yeah, it's always close, and it's always tough against Tipperary, no matter when you play them, be it in league or championship. And yes, they're going to be going all out, so will we. Yeah, I expect a good, close, tough match. I hope the weather improves, I think, for the quality of the game, at least. Obviously if it's raining it'll be the same for both teams, but the rain may affect the quality of the game, which I think would be terrible.
Well, a bit of sunshine wouldn't do any of us any harm at all. Johnny Callan, thank you very much for joining us in Limerick. Now we turn our attention to the football championship. Well, the big game.
Here's Jerry McInerney. It's a goal with a lever. What a dramatic way to end this Munster Championship semi-final.
Were dropped,
yeah.
And he was very upset over it, and we looked for an apology from the Sunday Independent, but that thing that appeared in the paper last Sunday wasn't an apology.
And we'll be hearing more from Eamon Cregan on that subject, plus his views on tomorrow's match in just a moment. Now, the clash of Cork and Limerick, the pick of the bunch from this weekend's championship fixtures. Cork this year bidding for their 6th Munster title in a row, and what an achievement that would be. Well, apart from that match in Thurles, the attention is mostly on the football scene this weekend in Gaelic games. Now in Leinster, on the defending...
Dermot McCurtain, that economical style so familiarly seen during the Munster Championship this past couple of years. And over the bar edge in front again. So James Shanahan, with his opening point of the match, gives his side a 1-point lead. Tony O'Sullivan towards Jimmy Barry, racing inside. That's a super finish, and Cork have taken the lead for the first time in the match. It's happened after 12 minutes. Jimmy Barry let that ball run on, intelligently so, and Fitzgibbon stuck it right into the corner. That's great finishing, and that's why the Cork selectors took a big gamble in bringing this man on. Hot-hearted without the stick to the impenetrable Tom Cashman. John Fitzgibbon here starred in the minor championships last year. Towards Tomas Mulcahy's to Jimmy Barry. And there you saw the full forward line of Cork moving like a fluid machine. James Shanahan, big